What is up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is January 13th, 2020, and we're back at again on the charts for our Monday free live session. And so, bit of a weird week that we had last week with the US and Iran stuff, and then we had NFP, but things are back to normal, I'd say. But the markets are kind of reacting a bit weird, especially the dollar. So right now we're looking at USD Yen, and we initially had a short trade entered for this trade. And you can see it looked really good from the start. I mean, nice resistance here. We printed a beautiful teardrop candle, inverted hammer, shooting star on Sunday. And that was pretty much our confirmation that we're going to go lower. And then you can see since London session, this thing has just been on a rocket. I mean, this is a daily candle, and you can see, trying to zoom in as much as possible, you can see there's a very little wick to the bottom, just a very, very fat bullish candle. And so I'm not sure if this is with, over the weekend we did have Iran come out and say the plane that they took down was actually hit by them by accident. I don't know if that's what's leading to this reaction, but it's such a delayed reaction, and there's no fundamentals in the morning for the dollar. We had some negative pound data, but nothing for the dollar, so I'm not sure where this is coming from. And when we take a look at Euro USD, we'll see that Euro is actually reacting the same way. So Euro is rising as well as USD Yen, and that tends to not happen since they're inverses. Obviously, dollar strength drops Euro and rises the USD Yen. So we're gonna take a look at that. We're not stopped out just yet. We're on 12 pips away. Hopefully, this thing kind of just comes back to reality, but it's looking like it's gonna be the first loss of the year. We had the first winner of the year last week, but I guess this will be the first loss of the year, and a bit unexpected, but we'll figure out what the case with USD Yen is maybe later in the day. But you can see the hourly, it's just been on a mission since the morning. I really thought it would go down here, but it's kind of popped back up and found some life. So no harm, no foul. We did have Euro USD push a bit earlier on Sunday. Thankfully, I'm out of that trade, but Euro USD, let's take a look at that. So Euro USD is also making a rally, and this is kind of rare for Euro USD and USD Yen to be on the same page. But I guess it's all a reaction to the stuff that happened over the weekend with Iran, coming out and saying they're the one that took down the plane. But whatever the case may be, our short was a pretty nice trade, very little drawdown. We went as far as 50 pips into profit. And we're coming back to our entry point. So if you have a partial position open, it's probably going to get stopped out at entry. It's very close to getting there. And so just take a word of advice. If you're still in it, I guess close out now, because you probably will be stopped out at entry for that small runner that you have. But I still believe we have a long ways to go for Euro USD. To head lower, but this just might be a momentary retrace, maybe back to the trend line right here, maybe even back to resistance before we go lower. But even on the daily time frame, we're still within our descending channel, and I'm pretty confident we're going to head lower. It just might not be the smoothest path all the way down, and our target for the year and even short term is 1.09940. with a long-term short target of 1.08600. So a little hiatus for our short idea for Euro USD. But thank God we secured around 50 pips to kind of get something out of the trade. And we'll be looking for entries to go short again. Another thing that did happen on Sunday going into today was the pound trades that we gave out on Friday have pretty much played out perfectly. One played out perfectly, the other one played out a bit premature, and so we're going to talk about that. So pound Aussie, someone asked about pound Aussie on Friday's session. I'm not sure who it was. I believe it was someone on YouTube or maybe someone on the portal, but they were basically asking if if it was a good time to go short or whether to stay in, etc. And so this was the idea given, very simple, and all it was really is we go to the 4-hour. On Friday's session, we were up here, right here above the support, 1.89121, and I made it very simple. If we get a break below that, we're definitely headed lower, probably to 1.87,000. And we went as far as 1.87,700. That's over 80 pips right there. So for whoever asked, actually not even 80 pips. That is from here all the way to here. Let's see. That's 1100. That's 110 pips. So whoever asked, hopefully you took this trade. Sometimes I give trade setups and I don't even realize I gave them to people until I check the charts later. But I don't trade Sundays. But whoever did, it was very simple. You got the bearish closure below that level, a nice teardrop candle, inverted hammer, boom, 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 110 pips, done and dusted. It might make a rally back upside or just consolidate before going lower, but pound Aussie, very simple. Another trade we wanted to take last week, which didn't really set up, was pound yen, and so we were waiting for pound yen to make a push to 143.765. It didn't get all the way there, and it started to play that short trade out. So I guess it was just a bit premature, but this is why I like to use resistance zones, even on a smaller time frame instead of lines, because if we drew a zone, we could easily probably caught this trade. So you can see a zone. Our resistance zone would have covered this resistance, this fake out, these two taps right here, and we could have entered short with a pretty tight stop loss as is. But based on our strategy, we tend to use lines on smaller time frames, but in certain scenarios we'll use these zones. But yeah, whoever caught that, if you did catch that, congrats. But we are waiting for an entry up here. And another trade setup, which is kind of ready to go, and it's with the yen, it's euro yen. So talking about euro yen came up here, came down, just reacting to an attack. So the safe haven took over, and then you had a bit of a relief, and then you had the plane shot down that came out. And then since then, just look at these candles. This is a huge bull run for the yen, just complete domination. And that's probably due to the phase 1 deal of the trade war, which is either signed today, the 13th, or the 15th. A Chinese delegate will be coming over to the White House and signing phase 1. So that would definitely lead to some yen weakness, at least in the short term. So maybe that's what's fueling euro yen right now. But we're going to keep it consistent and just follow the strategy. We're going to be looking for shorts from this zone and look for some signs of rejection. Something like this would be nice. Trading view, don't lag on me, please. Like a candle like this would be nice. A nice bearish engulfing. If you look to the left again, a nice bearish engulfing candle is what we're looking for here. So this is an idea we can see over the next 2 hours because it's really making a push at resistance. On the flip side, we do like to long from time to time. So if we do get the opportunity, we do have this level 123.800 to target. So let's see what happens. We'll keep an open mind. Don't really want to have any preconceived biases just yet, but definitely something to look forward to. I just kind of wish that USD Yen was going to play out, and it really looked like it did on Sunday, but I woke up to a different story. So that's fine. At this moment, I'm going to take a quick peek at the YouTube chat. Also the portal, see if anyone has any questions on this fine Monday morning. But yeah, it's only been 2 weeks into January, and it feels like it's been a whole month. It's really crazy. So we'll look to take more setups this week. I'll personally be just on the charts 24/7. Janny asked a question. One thing I've been struggling to understand is how exactly you determine your support and resistance zone in lines, since they seem to play a big role in whether or not you take a trade. But based on some of your videos, it all seems kind of intuitive and subjective. Am I right? Any further tips on how I can improve my accuracy with drawing them? That's a really good question, a really detailed question. So I'll do that. I'll actually answer the question right now. Johnny, do you have any pairs you want me to look at, which I can clean the chart and do a fresh analysis? And for those on YouTube, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I do have it open. Any pairs you want me? Any pairs you want me to showcase as an example? If you don't have any pairs in mind, I'll probably pull up a random one and I'll show you. But we just talked about Euro Yen in terms of those zones. Here, you know what? Let me ask some guys in the office. Hey guys, what pair should I analyze?
You did Euro USD yet?
I did Euro USD. Come on, guys, give me something new.
USD CHF.
USD CHF. Okay, we'll draw zones for USD CHF. All right, thanks.
No worries.
All right, so USD CHF. Even though we analyzed this pair last week, we can definitely take a look and show you how to draw the zones. By the way, I am looking to short USD CHF. One of the signals I wanted to call this week. So hopefully, Jenny, you're watching this live. If not, this session will be uploaded within the hour on our portal. So let's get to it. So we always start on the monthly. That's where we get our major zones down. I just gotta check trading view. Okay, cool. So what I do first of all is I kind of take a notice of where price is. So you can obviously see prices down here. So we're not really too concerned about what stuff happens up here or up here for now. We're really looking at the kind of short term. And so what we do is at this point we try to draw any support and resistance zones and trend lines. And why we draw zones is because zones cover a nice area, a nice price range. So many people when they start trading, they look at, so they do this. So I'll try to show you. They come here and they get their lines out, so they'll draw a line like this. Okay, they'll be like, that's our resistance, and then they'll draw their support like this. That's our support, and you can do it this way, but from my years of experience, I kind of found that using a zone is a bit more accurate, and you tend to get more setups that way, because you have to stop thinking about support and resistance as a price point. So instead of thinking of 1.02849 as a resistance, you gotta think of 1.02850 to 1.028900 as a resistance, because price isn't always gonna react to a certain price point and then do what it has to do. Sometimes it might fluctuate in and out and then react, and this is a nice way to stop using pending orders and actually watch price action. So instead of having a bunch of lines on your chart, you can really clean it up by using zones and lines really strategically. So I'm going to remove these lines and I'll just show you how simple this can be. So right off the bat, we're going to draw a resistance zone, and a clear one is right here. We're just trying to capture an area of most activity. So on the monthly, you can see this sort of zone has the most activity. You can see a couple months, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe around 8 or 9 months of activity in this zone. Okay, and when you get to the smaller time frames, you can always adjust your zone for accuracy, but this looks fine for now. And we're gonna do the support. So support, you can obviously see a nice support zone down here, right? We're capturing a lot of months of activity in the support zone. Looks pretty good to me. And since it's only about support and resistance, we're not going to be draw trend lines, but I also draw patterns such as channels, head and shoulders, etc. to on the higher time frames, and then I move to a smaller time frame. So we have our zones down. It looks pretty clean to me. Just based off our zones, you can see most likely USD CHF is going to go down to the support zone, which spans from 0.95200 to 0.95800, so 60 pip zone, which is fine on the monthly. Next, we're going to go to the weekly. At this point, you can also start to draw miniature zones, but you can also at this point we usually draw our lines, so our support and resistance lines, weekly support. So if we just zoom in, we can see one clear weekly resistance is right at this level, somewhere here, somewhere around 1.00187. okay, you can see it's a pretty solid resistance, and you can see when price does hit it, it sometimes goes 10-15 pips past before making a reaction. So yeah, resistance, usually the reaction's a sell-off. We can see multiple instances where we push higher before that sell-off begins. So that's why we tend to look at these levels with a bit of a buffer, around 5 to 10 pips breathing room. So we have a weekly resistance down. Is there a weekly support? Yeah, there is. So there's a weekly support right at this level. So you can see, let me just zoom in. When we came off resistance, we had multiple instances where we popped back above this level, another pop back, a similar occurrence here, move along here, similar reaction here, similar reaction here, similar reaction here. So we have our weekly resistance zone, our weekly resistance line, our weekly resistance support, and our monthly resistance zone. So from those charts, you can see it's really clean now. We have a clear bias. Obviously, the bias right now is a short. So on the daily time frame or the 4-hour, we can look for continuation down to this zone right here. And these zones and price levels, they're supply and demand zones. They act like magnets. They kind of magnetize price and pull it to them, especially when they're really close. And so we like to trade based off what happened in the past. And more often than not, price, when it breaks below this weekly support, it makes a visit to this monthly support. So we can see that happen here, we can see that happen here, we can see that happen here, happen here. I mean, sometimes, for example, in these instances, when you do get that break, it doesn't go all the way there, but in this instance, it went 50% of the way there, and that's still 100 pips to be made. Same thing again. So even if you don't get that full move down, you're going to get a nice chunk of pips. It's a high probable setup. So hopefully that makes sense on how to draw support and resistance zones. It just takes some practice. We actually have a video on our YouTube channel. It's public, and it's actually titled How to Draw Support and Resistance Zones. There's also a video in our education section. If you go to education, and I believe it's in, technical analysis, identifying key support and resistance zones, and I have a detailed video about that there too. So hopefully that makes sense. Edward, I joined last week, experienced equity option trader but new to FX. You set several take profit levels. Do you have recommendations about raising stops as those are hit, or selling percent of the position? So that's a good question. So I don't think I have this in my new Telegram channel, but in my old Telegram channel, I had a set of rules for taking my trades and most of our trades. I'll post those rules again in the new channel, but basically the very simple rule is, and I'll actually just do an example since we're already here. For example, let's say I call a sell signal on USD CHF, and why don't we make it realistic? We'll go on the smaller time frame and actually give a setup. So let's say, also with that strategy, we go to the daily and 4-hourly and draw our lines as well. So you can see on the daily time frame, we have a daily support right here, 0.97,000. Nice support, nice support, nice support, nice support, and right here. So let's say we're looking for a short, right? Let's say RP is looking for a short. He calls a sell signal on Telegram, and Edward's question is, how do I manage the position as we hit take profit levels? So let's say this is a setup I call, and I'm trying to make this. I don't know why Telegram loves to lag. So this is a signal. I call the signal. The stop loss is 0.97700. Our entry is 0.97,000. Okay, and let's say our first take profit is somewhere down here. This is arbitrary, but I'll just do it in case. Our next one's down here, and then our final one is somewhere down here. Okay, cool. So our risk management and mitigation strategy is very simple. Once a signal is called and it hits take profit 1 or 25 pips of profit, what you do is you close half your position. So once USD CHF comes down to here, what you're going to do is go on MetaTrader, C-Trader, whatever you use, and close half your position, and then move your stop loss to the entry. So since our stop loss was here, you're going to move it down to our entry point, and you're going to move the take profit for that position down to take profit 2. And then when take profit 2 is hit, you move your stop loss down to take profit 1, and then your next take profit will be take profit 3. It's a nice kind of succession that you follow, a nice stepwise pattern, if you want to call it that, to securing profits while minimizing risk. So that's what we do. And the reason why we secure profits at 25 pips is, on average, most pairs tend to move 25 pips per session, 25 to 40. And it's better to get 25 pips than lose 50 trying to get that extra 5. So we like to take what the market gives us and minimize greed. So that's how we manage our positions. If you're going to be asleep, then just go ahead and get take profit 1 and call it a day. But if you're going to be awake, it takes 2 minutes to open up a new position or manage it. Another thing you can do is maybe open up 2 positions, one for take profit 1 and the other for take profit 2. Just keep in mind that you don't risk more than maybe 2% per trade, because if you risk 2% per trade, you can lose 5 straight trades and you're only down 10% on your account. And it's very rare to lose 5%. I mean, 5 trades in a row. I don't think we've ever had that, but just an example. So 2% per trade, and that's how we manage our trades. Someone asked USD USD on YouTube and pound pairs. So I'll look at that. What's up, Jared? I'm good. I will analyze gold. So Mater Cornelera, hopefully I'm saying that right, said USD USD. I'll look at that. And Big G Dub, pound pairs. We took a look at pound pairs earlier, but I'll quickly go over them again. So USD USD, let's take a look. I don't think we've taken a look at USD USD at all for the new year. So we'll quickly analyze it from top to bottom, get some new levels down. So I'm gonna speed by drawing the levels. I'm not really explain it too much since we just went over it, but it should make sense. This session will be available to watch on our portal and on YouTube. So if you do think you missed something, don't feel too bad, because it will be there to watch later in the day. So quickly draw our support zone right here. Awesome. I already see a potential buy for USD USD. Resistance zone, yeah, there's one coming up right here. As you can see, a nice resistance zone. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and a good part of 2019, 2018 we spent under this resistance. So pretty good. If you look, we can also draw a trend line for USD USD on the monthly, connecting these lower highs and lower lows. And ooh, this is going to be a juicy setup. Glad you mentioned it. So nice. Look how clean this trend line is. First touch, second touch, third touch, and right now we are reacting on a fourth touch. So it actually might be a short back down to support. And it kind of falls in line with dollar strength. So just based off drawing 2 zones and a trend line, our bias right now is short. Let's check it out on the weekly. So weekly looks even nicer. You can see the trend line dating back all the way to 2014. We had our next few touches in 2018. 2019, if you look, in 2019 we tried to make a rally back to the trend line. We hit resistance hard. We spent maybe this was much of the start of 2019 under this resistance. Had a rally, a sell-off, and we've just popped back to resistance. To this trend line, and I want to call a short right now. Oh, God help me! I want to call a short right now. This is a nice setup. We're on the weekly time frame, so you have the shooting star candle. You have a nice spinning top confirmation. This could be really nice for short. Pretty damn good. So let me just see if there's any weekly levels we need to talk about. Weekly support. So there is a very minor weekly support. Right here, just, a nice support here. So it's pretty good. And down here we do have another support. So boom. That is a clean chart for 2020. That is very clean. So you can see price came off the trend line, actually closed below that recent support, and the next level they can target is probably 0.65 thousand right here. I'm in a swing, take profit level is down here, maybe at 0.62971 or 0.63 thousand. So I might be down to call a short. I do want to wait for the daily just because the dog is acting weird, but Mater, hopefully you're seeing this. Yeah, Mater, let me know if this is what you see for NSD USD. Well, I think we've taken a lot of setups like this in the past for NSD USD. And Big G Dub said, love the way you trade. I'm learning a lot following you. Thanks, BG Dub. If you didn't know, we hold these sessions every day, Monday through Friday. Monday's our free session, and so is Friday. Monday, we just get a rough idea. We're not really eager to enter. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we get those juicy entries, make that profit. And then Friday, we discuss how the week went, regroup, and get ready for the next week. So if you're looking to join us, check out forexlens.com/forex-trading-room. And you can sign up for two options. Sign up for a free membership to get a free membership and talk in our chat right here, and see all our live sessions. Sign up for full access to get to all our sessions and all our signals. We have 5 signal providers that we provide. On top of my daily teaching and sessions, you get 5 signal providers. For $97 a month, I will be giving a 25% off coupon code at the end of the session. So if you're looking to get 25% off your first month, just wait till the end of the session. I'll give that coupon code. It's very simple, man. You learn how to trade while you earn. I don't know, why would you not invest in yourself? $75 for the first month. It's a pretty damn good deal. And we make around 1,500 pips per month. So pretty solid. Anyways, NSD USD, I see a short. I'm going to wait for the daily candle. If it's bearish, we're going to go ahead and short it, swing it all the way down. Looking pretty good. And this is in line with our Euro USD short. So let's ride it. So the daily does look a little bit suspect right now. You can see right now we're just kind of pulling back. So a nice bearish daily closure. We're definitely headed lower. So awesome. Someone asked about on the website it says 50% off for January. Oh, okay. I believe we do have a promotion. Actually, it's 50% off your first month. That is correct. Thank you, Calvin, for mentioning that. Yeah, it's actually 50% off the first month. So I don't know why you would not take that. Do the math. It's probably around $47, I believe. So yeah, check it out, guys. It's on the website. If you do need help with getting advantage of the offer, you can talk to our live chat. Just go on our website after the session and talk to Allison. She's our live chat support agent who will help you get the offer and get you take advantage. So yeah, it's gonna be like $40, pretty cheap, cheaper than Jordan's, cheaper than some Uber Eats orders I've had. So definitely invest in yourself. Most people make back their fee the first week, if not the first day. So awesome. Big G Dub, I'm gonna quickly look at the pound since you asked. But pound Aussie, we had a short idea. Pound dollar, we're waiting to enter short. It's just taking some time, but it's a very solid setup, and we are looking for a dollar strength. But the pound dollar setup is pretty similar to NSD USD. We have a trend line dating back to 2014. Again, that year 2014. We had another touch in 2018, similar year as NSD USD. Hope you're seeing a pattern. And we had a push. We had a push above the trend line. And what this push was, when Boris Johnson got elected, markets reacted, and then everyone got back to reality, and price pushed all the way back down. And we're just waiting for something really simple to happen. We're just waiting for pound dollar to close back below the trend line to confirm we're continuing with the trend down below. So you can see we've had this set up since last week, and we're just being patient, doing our due diligence, not really getting too excited, waiting for that closure. Ideally 1.28817 is the entry point. So hopefully we get there. by the midweek, or if not tomorrow, and enter short. But we're bearish on the pound pairs: pound yen, pound Aussie, and pound dollar. So that's our pound bear bias. Yeah, please speak with Allison on live chat after the session. Just go to forexlens.com, our website right here, and you'll see leave a message. But you'll also see chat with an agent, and you'll chat with Allison, and she'll get you 50% off your first month. So awesome. At this point, I'm gonna look at gold, since I think Jared Walker asked for gold. And while I look at gold real quick, any last minute pair recommendations, let me know, guys. I'll give them a look. Our next free session is on Friday, so I won't see you guys until the next 4 days. So get in those last minute pair recommendations so you're set for the week. And so gold is an interesting one. It's mainly kind of in a fundamental tug of war. This initial push was when the U.S.-Iran stuff happened, and this major push was when Iran actually attacked U.S. bases in Iraq. And so, gold jumped over 400 pips within a few hours. Since then, it's kind of calmed back down. But if you look at the monthly, our bias has been long, depending on how the monthly kind of closes. Because if you look, this is the all-time high for gold, right at 1920. And whenever we got that break above this critical support, we did make a rally to highs. So right now, the monthly candle for gold looks pretty bearish. You can see it's kind of an inverted hammer. But if it closes bullish, then we're definitely going higher. On a smaller time frame, price action is indicating a sell-off, a potential sell-off. So we do have a setup planned right here. Trying to zoom this in. Trading view can be a pain and the sometimes, but that resistance region we just talked about, a close below, somewhere down here, maybe at 1530 is going to take us lower. We're currently using that support as a support, so that's why we haven't taken a short yet, despite this major reaction. We're just trying to be patient with it, because gold can be pretty volatile, and if Trump decides to retaliate later in the week, or just surprise Iran with an attack or sanctions, this thing could pop off again. So the safe bet for me personally for gold and this time of tension and in the new year, we're only 2 weeks young for the new year, is to wait for that closure below this blue zone to take us lower. So if I go to the daily, you'll see the overall setup that we have in mind. And you can see right here, so last bit of 2019, we struggled at this zone, stayed below it. We get a close below, we're definitely going back down, as low as to 1486, maybe even to 1460. So that's what I see for gold. Sorry, there's nothing short term, but the price action is a bit mixed, and I don't really want to take any chances. No problem. Thank you for the reminder, Kelvin. It's always great to have that. No problem, Big G Dub. Glad you enjoyed my analysis. Hopefully you see the same thing as I do. Nisha Alar asks Aussie USD if possible. I believe we took a look at that. We'll give it another look. So Aussie USD. Right, so this is what we saw on Friday. And so a lot of these USD pairs are having common setups, and that makes sense. They're all the majors. But it's the same trend line that we're talking about here. Again, the first touch in 2018. We did have a touch in 2019. Another one in July. And then you can see a very nice support here. Aussie dollar broke above the trend line. Came back and retested it. And then rejected it. Went to a rally. And that rally got stalled. And we had a nice sell-off. So if you look at this arrow, what we're looking for on Friday's session was a rejection from the zone. So similar to this candle right here, similar to these candles, a nice rejection from the zone is probably going to take us lower. This was a classic break, retest, and rejection to go lower. And that's where we're looking for Aussie dollar. The dollar itself is going to be very strong. They're not going to be cutting rates anymore. Unemployment's been pretty good. Although NFP was a bit lackluster, unemployment's still at 3.5%. And they're about to U.S. and China are about to sign Phase 1 of the trade war deal today or on Wednesday. So the dollar is looking pretty good for the new year. So we're kind of banking on that. And before we do that, we have to wait for technicals to catch up. So look for a sign of rejection from here, Nisha, like a bearish engulfing candle or an evening star, and we could take shorts, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, especially with the daily. It's gonna probably make another push above, but that's what we're looking for, some sort of rejection. If we don't get it, we could maybe look for longs, because the China deal is also beneficial for the Aussie. Australia and China are two biggest partners of each other, and so the trade war deal is going to help the dollar but also help the Aussie, so we might see a mixed bias for now, but there's tons of other setups we covered that are ready to enter. So while you wait for this, Nisha, there's obviously Pound Aussie, USD CHF, NSD USD, and Euro USD, even Euro Yen that could be entered today or tomorrow. So with that being said, guys, pretty solid live session. We covered a lot, and when I mean a lot, I think this is one of our longer sessions for the past 2 months. This session will be available to watch on our YouTube. So if you missed it or you need to go back and watch it, it's going to be on our YouTube. It's also going to be on our portal. This is our portal. It has, all our sessions. It has all our signals. You can watch Bloomberg TV if you want. So you can pull it up, click play. You can trade while you watch Bloomberg TV. Give it a second. Boom. When I go live, all you do is this. You click this, and if you click live, you'll see my screen right now. And all what people do is they pull out a chart. You can pull up trading view charts. Shut up. So you can pull up a Euro USD chart, and while I go through the pairs, you can analyze. So for example, Aussie USD. Let's take a look at Aussie USD. So while I do a live session, you can draw the same levels that I draw. So you can draw a trend line, do all kinds of stuff on these charts. They're all for you to use, and you can even change it. So instead of looking at Forex, you can look at crypto, index, economy, whatever. So pretty dope, and you can sign up for our portal for free. It doesn't cost. You just be limited to Monday and Friday sessions. But that 50% off, you can get it. Just go on to forexlens.com and chat with Allison, and she'll help you get started. So 50% off your first month to get all my sessions, my trade setups, and 5 signal providers. Why wouldn't you take it? And if you need some sort of, confidence or some sort of proof, we do have our past signal results here. Here's my signal results. So you can see pretty solid across the board. We had many great months, and if you go through, so October, 10,090 pips. 1,090 pips. November, if you look at November, we only had one losing trade. Bunch of winners, 1,040 pips. And so December we didn't trade. Obviously holidays. I was on vacation, so we're back at it again. So let's get to it. Looking forward to seeing new faces in our sessions. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow, if not on Friday, for another live session. I'm RP Forex. I'm logging off. Peace and happy trading.